Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, a very slow day for Bitcoin today or yesterday. Record this here now after the daily candle close. But yeah, really slow day for Bitcoin. But generally for the crypto market, quite an exciting day. At least for the coins that were already sort of in the uptrend, that just had to continue their uptrend and put some extensions in place of the current wave they were in. Like, for example, Solana. And what else did we have that was performing quite well? Near, for example. There were a few others. But overall, for the altcoins, a pretty good day. Whereas for Bitcoin, well, not so much. It's just correcting, which, again, you know, often happens when Bitcoin is correcting in a bullish market. It often happens that the excess liquidity spills over to the altcoins. I've mentioned it many, many times. But we keep a very close focus on, very strong focus on the Bitcoin dominance chart as well. Yeah, so I'm continue to watch that for signals if a larger trend change is occurring and the Bitcoin dominance starts to drop significantly. But yeah, that is at some point going to happen. And I think it's not far off. Only a couple of weeks ago, we made a live stream, member live stream, about an upcoming altcoin season. Or was it even the last one? Can't remember, but it was one of the recent member live streams in which we talked about the upcoming altcoin season. I made everybody aware that you want to be positioned for that altcoin season. So you have to just make sure that you are comfortable with your altcoin holdings, whatever they are. Everybody has to decide that for themselves. Everybody likes different coins, different charts. But yeah, you don't want to think about that when you have the masses of people come into the crypto space, right? Anyway, what's Bitcoin doing? Well, to be honest, the wave count is pretty much still unchanged from previous videos. We're still dealing with a situation in which we are in an overall uptrend. So what we are looking at here is purely a corrective pullback in an overall uptrend. That's at least the current expectation. We are not even coming close to the key support level, which is $34,060. Yeah, that's down here, the 50% retracement. That's only support. Doesn't mean we have to get there. It's not even the ideal support. The ideal support level or target for a fourth wave is generally, if we talk about generally, you know, across markets and what a wave 4 normally does, it's normally the 38.2 retrace of the third wave, and that's here at 36,300. I'm not even saying we should come down all the way to that level, because Bitcoin likes to put in very shallow corrective wave 4s, especially at least in sort of this market environment. That's been the case. But yeah, it would still be good to at least see that C wave to the downside, and with that C wave in this wave 4 to form a lower low below the low of the A wave, which means below $40,210. That's also the short-term bearish scenario that we discussed here in this correction. A wave down. Now we're putting in this B wave. There is no compelling evidence that this B wave is topped already, and then a C wave down. That is the short-term bearish scenario. But even in this scenario, I mentioned to you in the last update, I'd like to see the price ideally go a little higher, because this C wave here wasn't quite long enough. It would be nice to get it into the region around 44.7 to 44.8K, which might still happen. Yeah, and because this looks a bit like some kind of a triangle pattern or consolidation. So yeah, I think Bitcoin could move up higher from here, still form one more high. That would actually work quite well with my wave count and the Fibonacci extensions I shared with you. Why? Simple. Because if we're dealing with really this yellow B wave, then the subdivisions or the subwave structures suggest a W, X, Y structure. And in the Y wave, we have an A wave and a B wave and the C wave higher. And if we measure the length of the A wave, we go to the low of the B wave, then a key target is typically the 100% extension. See, it's actually even a little bit above 44.8K. So that would be ideal to get there in the yellow count before we see that larger decline to the downside. Also, what is important to understand is that, of course, you know, the low could already be in. That's not what I'm primarily watching for, but I still presented to you a short-term, well, bullish count, basically, already the breakout count. That would have to be here, the white structure. And that would be a diagonal pattern, not an impulse. So you can't really trust it until it's complete. And if it's complete, then we have 5 waves up. Then we can say, okay, probably the low was in. If we get 5 waves up, we can watch for the 3-wave corrective pullback, and then it can continue higher. So that's the thing. But in my primary scenario, I would watch for the price to go lower in the C wave, but preferably after one more tiny high in this area. It should give you a pretty clear primary scenario and the bullish alternative, and also to watch out for, because if we get a move, let's say above 45k, then it would certainly make me take the white count more seriously, but it would still need a 4 and 5. So yeah, I think we have to expect further choppy price action here over the coming days. I would prefer over the coming days for the price to come down in this C wave of 4. But it might be that it would just sort of stretch out a little bit longer sideways before that happens. But overall, you know, trend continuation is eventually expected to go further to the upside into the 50k region. That's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.